Welcome to All Call with Task Force 20, veteran opinions on veteran topics for the community, family, and friends. Now let's discuss.
That's how it goes.
That's exactly how you sound.
Okay, howdy.
Let's go!
Exactly the same.
It's gonna be one of them podcasts,
I hope
boys.
you're ready. Buckle up.
So I am Jason, and I am. How do we say this? Like I'm
He's
here
Jason?
today with
Honored to present this month's episode with the Honorable David R. Gedman. Hello, howdy.
Did you get your law degree or something?
Yeah, you're right. Well, I've always been honorable. Come on,
Order
let's
in the
go.
court.
All right, you're up. Go ahead.
And Mark O'Brien.
Less honorable.
Yeah,
Right,
that's honorable.
Let's stay in honorable.
Yeah.
The Irish maniac.
You're like
The
a
idea man
discharge.
himself.
All right, so
Here we go.
Yeah, I guess we're.
It's on.
That's how we're gonna
Strap
start this
in.
month.
Get the popcorn ready.
October 2023.
We're coming straight to your ear holes.
Yeah, we have almost done this for 2 full years, and
And we haven't gotten any better at it.
right, we're still as amateur as you can get.
That's right.
And I'm weirdly proud of that fact.
You got you.
So
All right, I just want to say, like that camera looks like
It looks
crooked.
wonky.
like I said,
Hey, if it looks good to you,
Good thing with the fisheye.
it's
you know.
perfect for us. Yeah, it's perfect for us.
still amateurs.
Hashtag.
It is what it is.
Hashtag super wonky.
If it falls, just ignore it.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
listening.
Keep it moving.
The show will go on.
Keep
I
it
promise.
moving. Here we go.
So this month we do not have a guest speaker. It's just gonna be the 3 of us sitting around telling inspirational stories from our childhood, and we do have one topic that we're gonna cover.
Just one though.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah, the rest is just
The
gonna
main
be,
one.
But
we're
I
just gonna be
think
hemming and hawing.
it's gonna take all episode.
All right,
So let's talk about buttered sausage.
I
What
don't
it
like
is,
buttered sausage.
what it is, what it does, where did it come from?
yeah, okay.
Was buttered sausage not your jam?
I don't buy jam. I buy honey,
Yeah, I don't know.
and I kiss it on
All
the
right,
lips.
explain, please. Explain buttered sausage to us, because
You don't know the buttered sausage?
I remember hearing something. I don't.
It was
For somebody that sends me so many TikTok videos.
I know, but that's the thing is I send so many I forget it. They're in and out, dude.
It was the fake Gary Busey, right?
Oh, that's right,
yeah.
Gary Busey.
Oh, that wasn't fake.
That
No,
wasn't real though.
That
was
was
it?
real.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
He's
clipped out of
Oh,
something. Yeah.
I thought it looked like
Yeah,
someone AI'd him
No,
on
no,
his
no.
face.
The cuckoo left the clock, dude, for
yeah,
sure.
It
Yeah.
sounds like it. He
out there.
doesn't like buttered sausage though, right? He
It's
does
not his jam.
It's not
No.
his jam.
No.
He bites honey.
Uh,
Kisses on the lips.
Like, I just want to know what kind of drugs you got to do to
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah,
I
that dude
think
is-
that's straight up Alzheimer's.
that dude,
honestly.
that dude is Ozzy Osbourne fried for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's something mentally going on there.
Yeah. Can't relate.
Not like bite a bat's head off or anything,
Yeah.
but something.
yeah. No, it's I don't know what's going on there. But normally we don't do like the viral videos and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're
That
not.
one.
Yeah, we're not Beavis and Butthead. We don't do
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely
You
not.
guys are pretty close.
Would that
Pretty
make
close.
Would that make Mark the winger kid?
Yeah,
What was his name? Stu.
Stewart,
Stan?
yeah.
Stewart.
Yeah.
I'm good with that, probably.
Yeah, that's right. It's just, like, it's funny, like that's where they went with Beavis and Butthead. Instead of doing music videos now, since that's dead, they just do like TikToks and stuff
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I actually kind of enjoyed the new
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead.
It's
the reboot.
fantastic.
Well, I can't watch it anymore. We'll get to that when we get to our movie. Oh, I don't want to, let the cat out of the bag now, but yeah, we'll get there.
All right.
We'll
so
get there. We'll
yeah,
get
we're definitely not gonna have a full episode talking about buttered sausage.
No.
But
We can.
there. Yeah, well,
I'm sure butter sausage.
Yeah.
I kind of know. I want to know what it is.
what it is,
And
it's
where it is.
a heart attack and a wiener wrap.
that's right.
It's buttered sausage.
In a natural casing.
Yes.
I like the deep breath right there.
Oh.
Yeah, like out of nowhere. Like he just do you want to talk about this? He's like, let's talk about buttered sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, that was odd.
I don't
How
like
do you-
buttered sausage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, if you haven't heard it, if you haven't seen it, look it up. Gary Busey, buttered sausage. It's all over the internet. It's like a virus.
And yeah, the irony is Gary Busey still maintains the right to vote.
Absolutely.
He's gonna get to vote next month.
Yeah, good for him.
So
Good for him.
Well, yeah.
Any better?
he should.
He probably will send his I don't know, his little errand person out and vote for him.
There you go. Maybe.
Mail-in ballot.
There
You
you
know.
go.
He's definitely writing somebody in.
yeah.
He's writing buttered sausage.
I don't like these choices.
Yeah. I don't like it.
But yeah, I'd say elections are the number one most underrated civil duty that we have. What is it like? In non-presidential years, it's like 30% of the population votes.
Yeah, it's embarrassingly
That's it.
low. I mean, it's embarrassingly low, and that's the thing is like most of the time the local elections are what affects your day-to-day life more than the national elections. But you know, it's not in front of our eye holes 24/7, 365 like national stuff is. So a lot of people aren't involved. But yeah, the local stuff is like it's literally it's what matters. You don't. The president and the Congress, like that doesn't necessarily affect your day-to-day life like the local stuff does. The stuff that's happening in your town, in your neighborhood.
I literally think my first podcast, we were talking about voting.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you've been around about a year.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
sounds
about.
right. Yeah, there you go.
I remember the same speech from Dave last year. So
Yeah.
if you can't do,
Yeah.
scroll back to last year and watch the same episode.
There you go.
Or listen to it.
But
Yeah.
did you vote?
Of course, I voted.
Yeah,
You're a
absolutely.
terrible liar.
I just voted this. I just voted this not too
In
long
August
ago.
or whatever, yeah.
For
For the special election.
the yes, no, maybe so. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't live in this area, so
Oh, I know, big one. If we're talking about stuff going on, issue 2, big one in Ohio this year.
what is this?
Jason, do you vote?
It's all about the weed, man. It's all about the weed.
I think that one has a chance as long as they don't try to do it the way they did it before.
Well, I'm not talking about. All I know is that it's all about the weed.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not like it was before. It's not trying to get a monopoly like it was before with damn Nick Lachey and the 98 Degrees boys and whatnot. Yeah, issue 2. Look it up. Inform yourselves. Educate yourselves. Come on.
Yes.
It's your duty. So guys like us, that are ugly like us, that have seen things and done things, we've gone to places that are very undesirable to ensure that the people that live there have the same rights that we take for granted. So stop taking them for granted. You want to honor a veteran, you want to honor somebody that's fallen dying for this country, then go and use your civic duty and vote.
That's the weirdest pro-weed
Yeah.
announcement I've ever heard. That was a terrible
And
commercial.
I'm not voting for or against weed. It don't matter. It don't affect me none at all.
If you're for
I-
weed or against weed, go vote.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter what you're for. But go vote.
Use your right that is given to us as Americans.
That is
Use your voice. Get out there, vote
There
for
is-
whatever you want, because that's your choice.
There is nothing more patriotic that you can do than vote.
And one thing I would definitely like to add, if you are on the losing side, improve your argument. That's really what it comes down
That's right.
to when it comes to voting, is we live in a majority rules for every single election in this country except for one, the president. We'll not get into that on this episode though.
We're not political experts.
But every single election that we have is majority vote. That's how you get a democratic republic, majority vote. So if you are, holy crap, technical difficulties.
We're gonna
Time out.
Oh,
Yeah, so there's no benefit to being the loud minority in any way, shape, or form, and there's no benefit to losing and going and pouting. You just have to pick yourself up, improve your argument, and convince one or two people. And granted, I know in today's political climate, you ain't convincing anybody of anything. But if you can find that person on the edge,
Yeah.
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 Just learn
Pull yourselves up by your bootstraps.
learn
and
how to
whatnot.
control yourselves, everybody, and just it's all opinion based. Whatever you think and whatever you want, go for it. If you don't win this time, better next time.
yeah, that's the
Just
thing.
try it out.
That's
Try it
right.
again.
That's what it's all about,
Keep voting.
man. That's what it's all about.
This whole hating each other, Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives,
Those daggum independents.
Mm-hmm.
we should all be independents.
That's right.
I mean, even the
We
the
should all
man
just be
himself,
Americans. That's what we should be.
That's what George Washington said.
That's
That's
right.
right. I heard him. Yeah. He said that to me in my dream last night.
He said that when we were crossing the Delaware.
Yeah, we were chopping down a cherry tree together.
This is
He
what's
said, I'm
gonna
not going to lie to you, Dave. I'm not going to lie to you.
and this is what's gonna happen if issue 2 passes.
That's right.
Yeah,
Not
good
for
times.
me. Not for me.
A lot more people talking about George
I
Washington.
want to know how they're going to control it at your employment. I know it's like
I mean,
Same
maybe
way
the
they
same
do it.
concept.
that's the thing is that we're not reinventing the wheel. There's tons
Yeah.
of states that have done it already. I think
And
it's like almost like half the states it's fully legal.
It's going to
so,
be interesting
And
for
I-
like a industrial
Yeah.
working environment, how they're going to regulate that.
Mhm.
And I want to say they've come out with like these strips that can test like how recently.
That's
That's
why
the
that's
key.
my that's the key.
Yeah, that's
you
the
can test
key.
it just like an alcohol, right?
Yeah.
At that point. So as long as they have something like that, we're all good.
Yeah, but
Yeah, regardless, just go vote.
yeah, because that's like for me, for example, like there's things that I have to take that not to get too crazy, too personal, but there's controlled substances that I have to take for injuries that I sustained while I was in the military, and the more that weed that I feel like marijuana could possibly help alleviate these symptoms without having to take these narcotics or whatever
Well,
whatever you want to
that's
consider.
the one
them, you know what I mean?
bright thing about
So yeah,
it, right?
the
'Cause
more that it comes out, then the more people it'll be able to help theoretically. You know what I mean? Possibly. So
you
we
can
just need more
you
research
can
and everything
save
else.
some of your stomach liner eventually if
Yeah,
you have
right.
to
Yeah.
take some of those pills and
The fact is, right now the VA is actively researching and testing psilocybin, which is the chemical in mushrooms, to help alleviate symptoms of PTSD. And there's a lot of like positives to it.
Okay.
And I bring that up because we're still talking about weed being legal or illegal in use for PTSD
Right.
and some of that kind of stuff.
Pain
And
management.
And it's just as natural as the psilocybin.
Right,
as naturally occurring as that is. Yeah.
I'm
So-
not for or against it. I think
No.
there's
Vote.
vote for what you want, but I
Right.
think there could be good. There's good and bad that comes with everything that's going to come
Absolutely.
out, right?
Moderation, right? Yeah.
I can tell you, growing up, anytime that had I dabbled in such
I
activities,
heard stories about people doing that.
Yeah.
I-
How dare you guys?
I never.
No, not us. Not us. Other people.
Yeah,
Friends
other
of
people.
ours.
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah.
How
Not
dare
even
those
friends,
people?
acquaintances.
Yeah, I never went home and beat anybody.
No.
Yeah.
So.
Just hung out by the dumpster in the trailer park, right?
That's right.
Hanging out.
Just
Starting a fire in the dumpster.
Just
Were
hanging
you, were
out.
you there? I can't remember.
I
Yeah.
I just heard stories.
Yeah, psilocybin. Yeah. Saw a movie about it.
I had a dream about it.
Yeah,
you
sorry.
guys came to me in my dream.
But yeah, so elections, you have a civic duty to vote. Please do so.
Be a patriot.
Get on out there.
You say
It's
you
not
love.
that far from your house.
You say you love your country. Prove it.
Ooh, wow, aggressive.
That's it. That's what it comes down to.
Just fly your American flags and go vote.
Right, but a couple days later, Veterans Day.
Oh man, I
So-
took my American flag down today
Why?
because I replaced it with so I replaced it with Old Abe first of all, 101st Airborne Division flag.
Makes sense.
That's
But,
okay though.
See, so now I got the front of I got it all lit up for Halloween, and if I got the American flag, I've got to light it up at night. You know what I mean? So it
yeah.
takes away from the spookiness. So until Halloween, I'm
So
gonna.
you actually followed the flag code.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And I don't do a solar light. Like I've got two bright ass spotlights on it. You know what I mean? So I'm not messing around. Like I'm proud to fly
Hey,
the Stars and Stripes.
Yeah,
so.
right. That's the first thing when we bought our house. First thing I put up,
Mhm.
flag.
Mhm.
Before anything happened,
Yeah,
flags
that's it.
going
That's
up.
it. It's got to go up.
you guys are just all America, and
That's
I'm over
right.
here. I
Yeah.
got nothing.
You know why? Because we vote.
We're gonna put a big one on the side of Jason's house.
Because we vote.
Vote.
Sorry.
America.
Go vote.
America. That's right.
Freedom.
Here we go.
So Veterans Day.
Oh no! Hold on, time out. It's not called Veterans Day anymore.
not?
It's called How Many Free Meals
How
Can You
many
Eat in a
free
Day
meals?
Day?
Just get your free meals. Be respectful.
Yeah. How many free meals can you eat in a day?
Well, so the good news is they're actually like starting to spread out the Veterans Day activities.
Oh, let's go. I like
So,
activities.
Like November 10th will be the breakfast at Savage Hall.
Okay.
I think it's put on by Lucas County Veteran Services.
And it works out
Inc.
because it's a Saturday morning this year.
Yeah, and it's in conjunction or coordination or collaboration with the Red Cross, I believe.
Oh, right on.
So that's going on. I hear that pulls a ton of people.
It's also Metallica weekend.
That is, and you would have had to have bought those tickets long enough ago to have forgotten about it because
Mhm.
I did.
Yeah.
But
That's unfortunate.
That's right. He's going to be there whether he remembered it
Yeah.
or not.
You're just gonna show up.
yeah, I'm not gonna go kicking and screaming.
Those
either.
mushrooms are gonna hit you hard. You're just like, why am I here?
what am I doing at Ford Field?
Cool.
Yeah, Owens, they have something like on November 9th. And I feel like there's something on November 8th, but I don't remember. But there's a ton of stuff
Yeah.
aside from the free meals at Applebee's.
That's the
and,
Google box.
The old Texas Roadhouse.
Ooh,
Nice
man.
steak.
I'm just saying, like, if you want to, I tried one time to partake in the free meals, and if you're not ready for a 2-hour wait, might
It's
as
a
well.
busy
Oh,
day.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've only been able to go one time.
Yeah.
And I'll, other times I'm working, if I'm able to leave and go get a donut or a free
Yeah,
coffee.
the old donut and
Or
coffee
like
at
a
Dunkin'.
little
Yeah,
Chipotle, buy one, get one free burrito,
Mhm.
and I'll do that.
yeah, you
But
look
this
like
year
you look like a man that could put down 2 burritos.
I definitely do. Without a doubt. But I got to work again this year, so
Yeah.
I can't leave this place. So.
Right.
Why not? You don't get a lunch break?
We do, but I don't want to clock out for lunch, so I just stay there. And eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind
You
of
get dinner on the way home.
Good.
tyrant do you work for?
He works for the sun, man. He
I
works
do.
for the sun.
Solar's the future.
That's right.
Yeah, I can't remember what else I had for Veterans Day.
I should write that stuff down, man. Good story.
I should take better notes.
Yeah,
You
copious.
should.
Yeah, like Matt. You should be like Matt. Take copious notes.
You almost have like a cell phone in front of you.
Yeah.
You can just write that stuff down in your calendar.
Yeah, shout out to Matt Stom, who couldn't join us this week, but he does take copious notes if anybody wonders.
Yeah, I think the one thing I did want to add, like, so for Veterans Day, we're talking about the free meals and whether or not you want to go out. The Brovets.
Oh.
Something that's always, it's kind of like irritated the piss
Love
out of me.
Brovets, yeah.
Now granted, some vets do take it to a unique extreme when it comes to this stuff and, flying their veteran flag. But for the most part, most vets I know don't have a lot of positive things to say about their service other than the people that they served with. So if you find something in your service to be proud of, I'm not going to trash you for it. You know what I mean? If you're proud enough to wear the veteran flag.
Everybody's service was important, right?
I think, I don't know. For me, it's about like the people you were with,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then some of the experiences that you would never have to get to experience, even if it's with those people or
Yeah.
without those people, without the military.
Right.
So like the Air Force, you get to travel all over the world,
Yeah.
stay in the nicest hotels.
The nicest hotels, yeah, the most beautiful countries. Yeah,
Yeah, we
absolutely.
didn't get to do that though, but
Yeah, that's all right.
I just know, like, I do a lot of work with, like, the younger generations of veterans coming up, and I've heard so many comments, that they make about, an old crusty or someone from our generation or even somebody from their generation who they feel is vetting a little too hard.
Oh, are we old crusties now?
We're pretty close.
you guys are definitely old crusties.
Joinks, yo, did we wear BDUs?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys are you guys are the leads in the VFW soon.
we're the old crusties.
You guys would be the ones with like those old Lieutenant Dan beards sitting up in there.
No bueno. I guess I'll own it. Back in my day.
But yeah, anybody that like expresses any kind of pride in their service openly, it seems like it's always met with, "Oh, what a boot," or
Yeah.
Yeah.
stupid brovet or whatever.
Pogue, yeah.
And it's like, that aids in the isolation.
Yep.
100%.
If you feel somebody's vetting a little too hard, that's probably somebody who's like throwing out the flag for a reason.
Need some attention for some reason.
Right.
Yep.
And they're probably spending a lot of time alone, and they haven't been able to find their tribe with civilians.
Right.
And they're flying that flag because they probably need help.
Yeah, man. Never really thought about it like that.
So for me, it always irritated me when they would do that, and I would try and explain it, but
What's a vet flag? I've never heard of it.
Just
front
like
style. And
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I understand it now.
If you go to college, you'll have individuals that'll take their military backpacks and stuff.
100%.
Yeah, and behind their back, there's other.
You see it in gyms too.
Yeah.
Gyms
Whoa.
are pretty.
Like, whoa, take it easy, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I had like 6 of my Coyote Brown bags, and I
Yeah.
used them at the like when I was working.
Yeah.
I'd just carry
Yeah,
with me.
because they were free. Yeah, because
I
chances
had
are they
free
were
bags,
free. Yeah,
and I had
absolutely.
so many of them.
Yep.
I started giving it away at this point. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't need this one.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing, like, and it's mostly former active duty from what I've seen. If somebody's currently in the National Guard and they're rocking one of them rucksacks or whatever,
Yeah.
It seems to always be met with a negative comment, and it's like,
No.
whether out of necessity or pride, I'm not gonna hate on that person.
Not at all.
This ROTC
That's the
boys
thing,
out
yeah,
there.
Love them boys. Love the boys that are like all out there and super flashy about their service, and love those that don't say anything about it.
You know, I
maybe
met
they'll
a-
just throw the hat on Veterans Day or whatever.
I met an older guy that said, he had a tattoo on there. I think it was probably right after Vietnam era. Older guy, about the 60s. He said he had a tattoo that said silent service.
Mhm.
Never talked about it, but if you looked at his, he had always had black boots on,
Mhm.
and you could see yourself in them. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's awesome.
But he never talked about it.
Silent service.
Yeah,
I like it. And that was
That's
a
sick,
tattoo.
dude.
right on the forearm, silent service.
I love it.
And he had his Navy insignia on there, whatever it
Yeah.
was.
This month's podcast is sponsored by Lauren Gedman with Remax Preferred Associates. Give Lauren a call at 419-322-9280 with all of your real estate questions.
Right.
Silent service.
Interesting.
I
It was
love
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
And then we got to talking a little bit, but he didn't talk too much. He was a submarine guy, though, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to talk to people
It takes
either after.
it takes a certain kind of. I think
Yeah.
it takes a certain kind of person to put themselves in a submarine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a steel drum just sitting there.
Yeah, I can't swim on the surface. You for damn sure ain't throwing me a couple thousand feet.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I don't think you'd have to worry about swimming if that thing.
Yeah.
fills
No.
up.
Yeah. That. Yeah. Least of your worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw a story about that recently. I feel like.
Yeah. Maybe one. Sorry, Flory just snapped me. So
wow.
I
was
shit.
not
Oh, my
even-
bad.
You know,
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Flory should be here.
Yeah, Flory. Yeah.
Podcasts and Snapchats.
Flory's at home sitting. He's watching Band of Brothers and having a bourbon. So.
We should have invited him, but I got to work tomorrow.
He
Yeah,
would
no
have
shit.
he would have brought the bourbon and
You,
then
yeah, you
tequila.
only invite Flory if you want to get hammered drunk.
You
So
get the next day off.
that's right. Yeah.
I'll deliver that memorial to his gym any day of
Yeah,
the week.
absolutely.
Yeah, we'll skip ahead. So, speaking of the memorial, we actually just got our first set of donated dog tags this past week.
Oh, no kidding.
So
It's fantastic.
Well, one of our 5 listeners heard that they can donate their dog tags and send them in.
That's great.
So
Keep bringing them. I mean, you know, any way you can get them.
Yeah, you want to
Not-
explain that, Jay? Like, what do you mean by the the dog tags? Like, what like donating the dog tags for the memorial?
yeah, so if you didn't get a chance to listen to the last podcast, you know, this past year.
Sorry, I'm smooth brained. You need to tell me twice. You know?
He's just the idea man.
You know, we worked on a memorial that we were thankfully able to unveil at our annual banquet, and it honors and recognizes the lives of those individuals who unfortunately, you know, took their own lives when they came back.
Mhm.
And when we put it together, we had discussed adding the names, but the only way you can actually add the names is to get permission from the families, et cetera, et cetera. So that was just going to be too many.
Right.
So we got permission from the 3 individuals that were close to our organization that unfortunately
Lost their battles.
are no longer with us. And what we've decided to do is open it up to where individuals can purchase custom dog tags, you know, first name, last name, the branch of service, birth date, date of death. That's all we want on the dog tags. And they can have them shipped to us, and we will include them with the memorial. So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
there's
I
between.
might have to do that with a couple of fellas that
Please do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
That's
just,
it.
you know, I
That's the-
didn't know were to that step yet, but
Yep.
that's my fault for not paying attention
You
to
didn't
it.
That's
listen to
right.
last month's podcast.
I did not.
Yeah, that, I mean, that's the whole goal. Is we want to be able to represent or honor as many people as we can. And
Yeah.
we want we want we want it to be a growing living thing. You know, not only the numbers, because unfortunately, people are going to continue to
It's
lose
gonna
their
happen.
battles.
Unfortunately,
right, absolutely.
Until we
But-
get some,
But we want to continue to honor those that have.
just keep getting that help that we are trying our hardest to give out,
100%.
and we just gotta, build that camaraderie back and get those boys and
Absolutely.
men and women
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
politically right now,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
just get them out and let's get them in a gym.
Yeah, keep them right.
Yeah.
You got to keep them right.
So with the dog tags, 30,177 veterans took their own lives between 2001 and 2020. The next VA report I was assuming was going to be out by now. It is not. So that number is going to change, unfortunately. But if you know anybody, veteran, service member, that took their own life, we will take a donated custom dog tags. We don't want the ones with a social security number or anything
Right.
like that.
We don't
Well, they
need-
stopped doing that. Mine do not have
Oh,
social
no
security
kidding.
number on it anymore. Has your
Your identity
Your
number?
ID,
See,
yeah.
That's that.
ID
See,
number.
that was our ID number.
Yeah.
And back in the day, they had ID numbers,
Yeah,
and then they
it's
just
service
started using
numbers,
socials.
Yeah, it's ID
Now they-
number now. They
Oh,
got rid of
interesting.
that.
Really, they
Very
went back
cool.
to that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So,
I mean, that,
like-
it should. That's what
Right.
should have
So you
been.
can't
know
give
what I
it to
mean?
your wife and go overseas, and then she
Right.
opens up a bunch of accounts
Yeah.
for you.
Don't worry, she already knew all.
She already knew.
Yeah, my wife knew all my
Well,
stuff.
that's
anyway.
different, Dave.
Yeah, my wife's concern would be if I were to open it.
So, I mean, good to know. I didn't realize
Yeah,
that,
mine-
but we don't
I
want the
didn't know
service
that,
number
yeah,
either.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So please, yeah. So like, I mean, if there's anyone that you want to honor, we want to honor them with you.
Yeah.
We want them to be a part of this monument, and we want it to be a living, breathing thing, and it continue to grow. So feel free to share, please. Every set of dog tags is a story, and
Ooh,
a
I like
person and somebody that deserves the recognition for their service.
And I don't know if it's possible
honor.
to like share that person's story as well, not just
Yeah, we love it.
You know,
We love to hear stories, and
yeah.
we love to share stories.
you
and
can share that with.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I never really. That was a good
Yeah,
way to put
absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
Every set of dog tags is somebody's story.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we want our monument to be able to tell as many of those stories as we can.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I've got a database we're putting together of all the dog tags that are going to be donated. So if you know somebody and want to reach out ahead of time to make sure we don't already have that set,
Yeah.
please do so.
Yeah, I don't know, but that database, that sounds like some nerd shit. I don't
No,
know, but
no.
you do your
It's
thing.
just Excel where I put their names.
All right.
Yeah, I got the
Yeah.
data.
It's trying to sound smart. You know, I think it'd be easier around this group.
Jason
Yeah.
definitely likes buttered sausage.
Let's talk about what it is, what it does, where's it come, why does it exist.
I'll drink
So, yeah.
to that. I'll drink to that.
Send in the dog tags. It's kind of a bittersweet experience because as they come in, you know, it's a reminder that we still have work to do, and that's why we do
Absolutely.
this.
Our mission is not
Yeah.
done.
And maybe if we get other people's stories out like we've been doing,
Yeah.
then that helps that
If it
next
helps one person,
that helps
yeah.
that next group of people that we're trying to help get in the
Absolutely.
gym and
Yep.
get their life right.
Yep. The goal is just that one person, one
Get your
person
mind,
to see
yeah.
it and get and
Just need your
make
mind
a
right.
difference. If that happens, if that one person, if we save one life, then
We're doing our
that's
job.
Everything we've done is
absolutely.
so.
Y'all trying to get me choked up and stuff over here. Come on.
We went away from the Brovet culture real quick.
Yeah, right. Yeah, opposite
Yeah.
ends of the spectrum
Yeah.
here.
I just wanted to highlight quit talking shit is basically
Right,
what it
yeah.
comes down to. Like, you know,
Everyone's had a different experience
Yeah.
in the service,
And that's the thing is you don't have to inflate what you did. Like you don't. Everybody's service was you know you raised your, whether it ended honorable or not. At some point in your life, you raised your right hand
yeah,
and agreed to give your life for your country.
everyone's is the
right? You know what I
same,
mean?
but also it's all different.
Right, yeah, and it's okay, and it's good
Yeah.
to be different. It's a huge pie, and there's all kinds of different slices in this pie. So, yeah, be proud, man. Be proud of what you did. Don't try to steal whatever somebody else did.
It's like when I joined up, there was like we still had the older guys,
Mm-hmm.
like your guys' age, you know,
Yeah,
not older,
us, yeah,
older, but
yeah.
then we had.
Us follically
You know,
challenged.
so we're gonna be looking for a new Coast Guard representative.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was like 5 years in, so you had the older guys still, then you had
Yeah.
the younger guys,
Right.
and seeing those interact,
Yeah.
it was
It's an interesting.
it was very interesting
Yeah.
because a lot of the older guys started getting masked and everything else because of their
And,
you know, sailor language and
right. Yeah.
you know, it's just it is what it is.
It's a constant evolution.
I like that you brought that up because, as you guys know, we just had the troops come back from Iraq and Syria, and Sergeant Rosbert, you know, took our flag over there and said some very nice things at the podium at our banquet about this
cool.
organization and everything.
Yeah, super cool.
But there's also a thing going on right now in the military where us olders, we
olders.
have all defected back into civilianhood, right? So a lot of these younger generation veterans, they're not exposed to those of us who went through the early days of Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's not Club Fed or Club Med or whatever that it is now. And so, like you said, you know, when you were in, you had that like dichotomy where you
You had the guys that were in going to
Literally.
Iraq when I was graduating high school,
Right.
and then now you
So,
got
like this isn't like a new thing. Like this
Right.
happens. I mean, like there's like it overturns. The wheel never stops
It
spinning.
never
you know what I'm
stops.
saying?
Well, it's
But it
like
was
with
just-
Pat.
it's like-
Pat
right.
was in the first call for it.
Right. Exactly. So you know, there was well, like when we were in, there was people that came into the unit that didn't go to our deployment with us, and it's just like it's not a new thing. Like the wheel keeps spinning. Like this whole like back in my day, it was so much hard. It's like things evolve, things get different.
Yep.
Like it's okay. That's supposed
Well,
to.
it was real
Right.
big.
Yeah.
Like the older guys would talk about, like, oh yeah, if you don't get deployed, you're not
Right.
really.
Right. Yeah.
You
Well,
know-
like
you know,
when
and
I
it's-
joined, there were still guys that talked about their drill sergeants making physical contact with them in basic training. You know what I mean? And like
You
being
guys
able-
didn't have to do that.
No, yeah, you got hit in basic training for doing shit wrong. Yeah, okay. But then,
I'm
yeah,
just saying, I didn't know when that stopped.
but it's like, well, then these guys
I
are
didn't
saying
get hit.
now they're saying that you can't cuss at them anymore. Like it's just
Right.
it's different. Like things are
Everyone
different.
gets the hurt feelings chick
Like,
cards now,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's and that's what people said the whatever, I can't remember what the cards were called, the
Oh, the stress cards.
stress card.
Stress.
Yeah,
cards.
that was so overblown.
100%. Yeah, it's a but. Back in my day, you know, I had to walk to boot camp uphill both ways in the snow, and like get rid of this generational
Right.
bullshit. And it's just like,
I didn't like when they yelled at me.
right? It's just it's stupid.
It is.
And that's why I don't mind. Like, I'm not overly participatory with the Legion and VFWs. I belong,
Yeah.
but I think talking to them almost keeps that, like you said, it's like a constant wheel.
Right.
Like it's always turning. It keeps that connection to where
There are
we can
way
get.
more similarities than there are differences.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, if you look at the civilian world too, like working at an oil refinery,
Mhm.
you got those old guys that used to do it that
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
And then you got the new guys coming in, and you're
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, if you haven't been there that long, right, though, but you're like, those old guys give you shit every day
100%.
Right.
because you're not doing it the way they did it.
Right. And they're not doing it the way they did.
No, because
You know
it's
what I
not
mean? Yeah.
safe.
They
It
think
wasn't
everyone's
safe,
Yeah.
right? But
They used to.
everybody can relate together, though, if we
Yeah.
just think about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that used to kill me, right? So like and I know it's kind of getting off topic, but like so say they were like the old guys would say, well, back when I was an apprentice, you know, my chief made me do this and this and this, and you guys don't have to do that now. And it's like, well, you're the chief.
Whose fault
So
is that?
yeah, if you want to make me do it, make me do it.
Right.
I'll do it. You're my boss.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's-
mean.
that- yeah.
So stop people complain and cry just to cry, and it's the same thing in the military. Well,
Yeah.
back in my day, we had to do this, this, and this when we were privates.
Back in my
Well,
day,
I'm
we
a
had to-
private now, and you're in charge now, so make me do it.
Back
You
in
know?
my day, my E6 took me out back and we fought. All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
Let's go. Come on,
I'm
please.
ready for it.
Come on.
It's,
You might walk over
Ain't
here, but
no-
you're gonna limp back.
Ain't no one telling on you.
Yeah, it's funny because I enlisted 2 weeks after 9/11, and when I actually got to my unit at Fort Hood, they had just gotten back.
It's not Fort Hood anymore.
I don't even know.
Was
what
it
they
Fort
renamed
Freedom or something?
Uh,
Which one is?
I think Bragg might be Freedom. I don't know. No more
I
civil.
don't
Is
know.
Bragg Liberty?
Liberty free. I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know
There's
is no more Civil War generals. No more Confederate generals. I should say.
The Waco, Texas base. That is where I was stationed at.
Killeen.
And I had gotten there, I think, 2 weeks maybe after they got back from transporting POWs from the fields of Afghanistan to Guantanamo Bay.
Mhm.
So I never participated in that.
Right.
But
I was even at Guantanamo Bay.
That's right. Way after that.
Yeah,
way after that.
We still had the 9/11 guys there though.
oh yeah, they're
Oh, yeah.
never
I just
gonna-
never knew where they were
Right.
because they was hidden camp somewhere.
Right.
really.
You know, you get close and the Marines come arrest you. We had a couple guys.
Oh yeah.
Marines would get.
You know
put
why?
in,
You know
drop back
why?
off.
You know why?
Uh-uh.
Because you can't handle the
That's
truth.
probably it.
You need me on that wall.
I've always wanted to handle it, but never good enough.
But yeah, like the whole timing of it, like literally,
Oh,
was my service any less? You know, because I wasn't there 2 weeks prior to get on that C-130 for
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right?
36 hours or whatever.
It's
they
not
had
my
to
fault.
fly,
You're
like,
10 years older than
Right,
me. And
yeah,
I
absolutely.
wasn't. I was
couldn't-
still in high
couldn't-
school.
I couldn't help when I was born.
Yeah, I was 15 years old and I couldn't join right when
Right.
this happened.
right.
You know,
So, yeah. Anyway, that was a really long.
that
Yeah,
was,
rant,
but
Yeah.
it was
but
Where are we
fun.
going with this?
I don't know.
Don't be a dick, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with it. So
Yeah.
let
Don't be an
let
arse.
the let the Brovets fly their flag.
Yeah, absolutely.
you
And
know.
let the
Everyone's
Maybe-
service is different.
and let the silent killers, let them be
Yeah.
silent.
Let
know
them,
what I mean?
you know-
let them do their thing, and give them their donut and their coffee. And
Yeah.
Shut up about it.
You know what? It was funny. That guy that said silent service. I
Yeah.
saw him at a walleye game
Yeah.
wearing his little veteran's hat. You
Oh,
know,
no kidding. That's
I was
awesome.
like,
Yeah. that's-
all right, silent service.
All right, buddy. I see you. I see you.
But did you talk to him?
I did.
No,
I talked to him at the.
whispered. They were silent.
I was like, oh, like that. I buy honey.
Like kissing on the lips.
That's right.
Anyway, so moving on. Thanksgiving.
Moving right along.
For some people, this is their
Are you
favorite
gonna ask
time
us
of
what
the
we're
year.
thankful for? Don't ask us what we're thankful for.
No, I was gonna ask you what you're looking forward to.
Oh, the turkey.
Some tryptophans in your future.
I only like dark
That's the
meat
turkey.
only.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man.
don't do the white turkey.
No, it's too dry.
You ain't had my smoked turkey.
I'm
then.
coming to your house.
You know what? I've never had an invitation to come over and try his smoked meat. So
No. Yeah, I guess we're.
We're
do
not
I-
Jason's here every.
do
we're
we-
not talking
we-
about
we-
smoking meat.
We work Thanksgiving this weekend, this year.
Oh,
though,
we
don't
do. Yep.
Where's Thanksgiving?
guys-
No, Thursday is
We're off-
Thursgiving, right?
Yeah, we're off Thanksgiving. We're
Yeah.
off
You guys
Friday.
have rotating schedules or something?
Yeah.
What?
Me and Dave
We're
are.
on, it's weird. We're on the same so I rotate from nights to days,
I'm all
but
on
I'm-
days.
but he's all on days. But we work the same days.
Oh, no kidding.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
so-
Oh, I didn't know that until one day where like Dave's like, I'm
You know
off.
what
And
I-
I was like, oh, me too.
Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up. You know what I do know? I know I've been going to Anytime Fitness for like 4 months now.
Haven't seen me once.
Right.
Understandable.
And the whole reason I went there is because you're like, I go there all the time.
Well, on my days off, I'll start meeting you over there.
There you go. See that?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll
You guys,
have-
you know,
It's
for
tough.
Jason's-
It's tough because he goes in the evening, and now you with Ashton and Brody. Like
Yeah.
it's tough. Like the evenings,
It
like
is.
he goes at dinner time, like normal people dinner time, and like you can't necessarily do that because you've got to have family dinner.
I got to get back in the gym though because we're almost
Yeah.
done with this house renovation,
Mhm.
and now that I have no excuses anymore.
But it's funny because every time I go in and I talk to the owner about something Task Force 20 related, he's like, "Oh yeah, we got a few guys that come in here," and I'll just be like, "Mark, right?" He's like, "Yeah, Mark." Every time I talk to him, he forgets who I am.
Because yeah, he does.
That's amazing.
I pitched him first though,
That's amazing.
Like
yeah.
Task Force 20.
but I've never got him to commit to anything, and Jason got him to commit to the star thing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you primed the pump.
I
That's
did.
right.
It was, you know, it was still early in my
Yeah. You
Task
did-
Force 20 career, and
Yeah.
pretty,
Did-
you know.
It did better than what I did at the Y. So
Well, I'm pretty sure the owner thinks Mark founded it. So
yeah. Oh,
I'm happy to.
It is what it is, you know,
Yeah,
I'm-
good for
I'm
you,
the
bud.
idea guy.
That's right.
Jason's the face. I'm just the idea.
But
That's
the
right.
problem is now you're never there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, I don't want anybody to know where I'm at every day. You
That's
know.
right. Yeah. Silent
I
service.
stop at every different gas station every day, so
Yeah.
no one
That's right.
expects me.
See, that's his service at Task Force 20. Silent service.
I like it.
Hey, I'm getting the tattoo with
That's
the
right.
with the Task
logo.
Force 20
Yep,
logo and silent
absolutely.
service.
Ah, new shirt.
That should be a new shirt.
There you go.
Write it up, Dave.
I've come up with all kinds of ideas, but I never talked to Duke Monk, so yeah, not bad on that.
So what are you looking forward to for Thanksgiving?
I'm smoking a bird this year for sure. Sorry,
well,
I didn't want to jump
you
in
can
again,
bring
but,
some
yeah.
some over to me later.
Come on.
I think I'm a green bean casserole guy myself.
Oh, so is Lauren. Lauren loves
I
the
like me some green bean casserole with I think it's the onion
With the
straws on
crispy
top.
fresh,
Yeah,
the onion. Yeah.
that's. I used to eat those out of the. I don't
Lauren-
even like onions, but I used to eat them out of a little jar. Mom had in
Lauren
the-
will make that throughout the
pantry.
year because like that's her favorite Thanksgiving thing.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I never liked sweet potato like casserole
Mm.
until I went to basic,
Yeah.
and that was the only like
Like
dessert
dessert, yeah.
thing you could have.
Yeah, and you're a man that loves
Yeah.
a good dessert.
I am. I'm not even big on. Not even big on desserts. But
Yeah.
it was just that little sweetness
Right.
hit me right in
Little bit,
basic, so
little-
I love it now.
Yeah.
We weren't even allowed coffee; it was just water.
Yeah.
The other classes came through getting coffee and Powerade.
Yeah. So are you a turkey guy or a ham guy?
I like some ham.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna say
That's
it's got to be dark meat or ham.
Yeah.
And Lauren's a big ham. Lauren's ham too, so it's always got to be turkey. We've always got to do a turkey and a ham. So because Lauren, but I gotta have turkey.
Mhm.
Favorite green bean casserole is your favorite side?
That is my favorite side.
What's your favorite side?
Side.
Yeah, like traditional
Probably
Thanksgiving
mashed
side.
potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Ooh, yeah, if they're made right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and as far as I like a good chunky.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
little chunk in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't sleep on the deviled eggs.
That's what I was about to say. That's deviled eggs for the gains, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs, it's for the gains.
So I'm figuring out that TikTok is the devil.
Oh,
because
not
I
for
saw-
me, dude.
I
I've gotten so many meal prep ideas from TikTok.
You know,
Well-
have you ever made one though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've saved these.
No, I mean-
and
I
I've
mean,
never
all
There
the
made
was
time.
one. They made deviled egg hamburgers,
Whoa.
right? Where like they took these little like hamburger
Mhm.
patties and used like deviled eggs as the buns.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
sounds-
looked really good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That's wild.
Sounds
yeah.
like just protein.
Yeah. Gains. It
Basically.
sounds like gains,
Yeah.
right?
Well, like last night we went to Benchmark, right?
Oh,
I got a
man.
24 ounce the cowboy steak,
Yeah.
and I hammered the whole thing down.
Big money over here.
Nah.
He works for the sun.
Right.
He works for the sun. The sun's got unlimited resources. You know what I'm
Big
saying?
money, no
The
whammies.
sun is a star, baby.
That's right.
That's
so it's
right.
the future.
That's
and
right.
smart.
So
Thanks
I-
for the invite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was, I got told I was going, right? So
Yeah, that's right.
got the biggest one, and then I had that meat baby for about.
Ooh.
I ate the whole 24-ounce.
That's right.
And I just
Did you
let
get the
that
meat
sucker.
sweats?
Oh yeah, it was great.
I love the meat sweats.
And then I just let it sit there, and I was like, "This is the best."
Benchmark
decision
does
I
do
made.
good steak.
Let it
Yeah.
simmer. Yeah, I had to go there and like I got like because I'm a fillet guy, and I got like the $100 fillet, and it was like it was the first time I ever bought like a really expensive
You're
fillet.
a fillet guy?
Oh yeah, I love a good
Really?
fillet. Yeah, and it was like melting in your mouth. Oh man, that place is legit, dude.
I do like Benchmark. I don't like the prices.
This month's episode is brought to you in part by Forever in Bloom by Jamie Tusco, your artificial and solo wood florist. Call Jamie at 419-551-3183 for your home decor, bridal bouquets, and special occasion needs.
The prices are very outrageous.
Yeah, but I mean, you get what you pay for. You
Yeah,
honestly do.
it's a good steak.
It's a different experience.
Like
When you work in higher ed.
We talked about this though. Me and my wife, right? She's loves Benchmark. That's her favorite steak
Yeah.
place. Down in Southern Ohio, there's something on the river. It's called the River, like a rib,
Mhm.
and you can have like a 2-pack of like 32 ounces of steak for like $30.
Yeah.
Best steak I've ever had in my
No
life,
kidding.
hands down. They smoke it a little bit.
Yeah.
They grill. It's the
Yeah.
best.
That's awesome.
Best ribs I ever had. Barbecue joint right outside 29 Palms.
Hmm. Going back to
Hell
Kelly.
yeah.
But
I don't think I've.
no, I'm looking forward for this. Maybe the first time in a very long time. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving Day football. The Lions are
Lions are
crushing it
legit.
right
The
now.
Cowboys are competitive.
Right.
I'm so
like,
happy
it's
for the
gonna be
Lions.
good. Yeah, hell
I really
yeah.
am.
That's
I'm hoping it's
Yeah,
Lions.
restore
Bills,
the roar,
Super
baby.
Bowl.
Restore
Lions,
the
Bills.
roar.
like obviously I'm a Bengals fan, and I suffered through the '90s like everybody else. There's only 2 franchises that I would actively cheer for to win a Super Bowl if the Bengals weren't in it,
Mhm.
and that would be the Lions and the Browns, because
Whoa,
those
whoa,
two
whoa, whoa,
franchises.
What about the
How-
San
how
Diego
are you-
Superchargers? Come on.
I mean, how are you going to be like a? You can't root for the Browns though.
See,
Dude, that is a franchise that has been beaten up. Like, even when they were good, all you got to do is mention John
hold on,
Elway.
time
Let's
out,
talk about
time
these
out. Let me
Buffalo
tell you
Bills,
something.
though.
Let me tell you something about having the best offense in the league, the best defense in the league,
The
and
same
missing
year.
the playoffs.
In the same year.
And the number one offense, number one defense did not make the playoffs. Let me talk about suffering.
That does hurt. That
Oof.
does hurt.
I'm a Bills fan now because of Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh. It's hard not to be a
That
Josh
dude's a
Allen
good
fan.
dude. I'd like to see the Lions Bills Super Bowl.
Yeah, but yeah,
And the Bills to finally win one.
living in Northwest Ohio, it's like life is so much better when the Lions and the Browns, not even good, but competitive. You know what I mean? Like,
Everybody's
right.
happy. They're nice
It-
to each other.
it's
It's
just-
great.
And
Yeah.
the Steelers are
Are
a strong
awful.
mediocre.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
they're not like obnoxious in all the bars.
that's
So,
that was a big thing with like because like Michigan played Nebraska a couple weeks ago, and like the whole Barstool Sports and Dave Portnoy. But like, he's wearing a thing, and he was wearing a shirt that said "Make Nebraska mediocre again." Like, not even good. Like we don't even need good. Like, just make us mediocre.
Right.
You know, like we'll be
I
happy with
thought
mediocre.
that Dave guy's a Michigan.
He's a
fan.
Michigan guy. Yeah,
Michigan
yeah.
man.
But like he was telling the story like he was wearing that, and like so many Nebraska fans were like, "Oh my God, that's awesome! That's a great idea!" Like that's
I like
exactly
his.
what we
He
need.
has good shirts
Yeah.
on their little
Yeah.
website.
Yeah,
There's
I've
nothing affiliated, but they always
Yeah.
have like little.
Yeah, I've got a
hints
Nooners.
about
I've
it.
got a Nooners shirt from
Nice.
Barstool. Yeah, I'm a big High Noon guy.
You like the High Nooners?
Oh yeah,
Oh man,
that's good stuff.
that's all Ashton likes.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
but no, the Browns.
Put hair on your toes. The Browns.
Even when they were good, they still got one upped by John Elway
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like, and that since the '50s, like that's all they have to hang on to.
Right.
is
And then they
the
left.
50s.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Little
a
things.
different. That's the Ravens now. So.
The Ravens.
Yeah, and then,
So-
yeah, the team leaves and then goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Interesting
You know what I mean?
fact
Imagine-
about the Lions, though.
No, here we
Southern
go.
Ohio, Portsmouth, Ohio, where that great steak place is.
Mhm.
Right.
That's where the Lions originated. It was the Portsmouth Spartans.
That's right.
They moved
Toledo
right
also
up.
had a
No shit.
professional NFL team back
Yeah,
in the
it
day.
moved right up, and then they were in like the first Super Bowl or something.
Oh wow.
And then they didn't
Oh,
call it
not
the
the
Super Bowl
Super Bowl,
back
yeah,
then,
one
but
of
it
the
was
championship
like
games
the
or whatever.
championship
Yeah.
game. The Spartans.
What happened to the Packers and Chiefs?
The Packers were in that with
That
the
was
Spartans.
the Super Bowl. That was he's talking about the.
It was Spartans versus Green
a
Bay.
football championship way back in
It
there.
First
was-
two Super Bowls weren't called Super Bowls.
Well, this was like
Yeah,
this
you're
was
talking
way before-
1920s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were against the Green Bay Packers,
These guys wearing
And
wearing
then-
helmets for God's sakes.
and then it
Real
moved
men.
up to the Lions, and now it's like funny. I lived down there. Now I live close to the Lions.
There you
It's
go.
kinda
See
cool.
that?
And here you are, a freaking
And you're
Bills fan.
and here you are talking about God knows what on this podcast
I know.
that nobody listens to.
Bills Mafia though.
So yeah, Thanksgiving. I'm excited for the games. I
And
think
the
it's-
turkey and the deviled eggs.
Where are you going for Thanksgiving, Jay?
I usually start at my grandparents
Okay.
and have dinner
Pre-dinner.
there.
Pre-dinner, yeah.
And then historically, I would then go to the Gedmans.
That's right.
Have your
And-
second dinner?
I think usually it's Bub and Mix though, because I think they usually host it. We host Christmas. I think they host Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah, so it'll be at Bub and Mix. So I'll have to smoke my turkey and then transport it 3
Well,
blocks to 851
I'm getting very close to your father-in-law. Like we knuckle hit
Yeah.
every time
Yeah,
now.
he's
So
good people.
I might go. I don't.
Maybe.
Maybe go get it.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's how my Thanksgivings have
That's
generally
good.
always gone. 'Cause I don't really keep around anybody that would like take me to meet their family
No.
on
Yeah, I
Thanksgiving.
don't-
So
well,
that's never
yeah.
really come
No.
up. So
Surprised
Maybe
I'm-
this year. Maybe this year you won't be able to come to the Gedman Christian Hensley.
Or he brings an extra
Shenanigans.
person.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, free food over there.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Come on, let's go. I don't know. Maybe this is
I wouldn't go betting on it right now.
But hey!
so,
You never know.
Yeah, we'll save you some dark meat.
You don't know till you know, right?
Yeah.
But all right, so that's enough about Thanksgiving.
Come on over,
Yeah.
play some euchre.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah,
Let's
for
go.
pennies.
that's right.
Um,
Screw your neighbor.
Pennies,
we
dang.
play Screw Your Neighbor a lot.
What is that?
That's some game. I don't know.
That sounds fun.
I don't know.
You-
I'm good at it.
you basically like take all your neighbor's money. And
Yeah,
stuff.
the quarters.
That's-
Take
yeah.
the quarters. Yeah.
That's great.
Nobody has quarters anymore. I'll Venmo you. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm Venmo you that
I don't know how it
$2.
works.
Everybody
You
just
got
Venmoing
cash
back
app for
and
it? Yeah,
Venmo and 25 cents.
that's right.
All right, so
Howdy,
moving on.
Yeah,
Film
you know.
review time. This has honestly become one of my favorite parts of what we do. And this month, I can't remember who it was that chose this.
That was me. That was
It was
me.
you.
The bald guy.
Dave chose
Which one?
One of the
We
bald
Were
guys.
Soldiers.
We Were Soldiers. It's a classic.
It is a classic.
Based
And
off the
also-
book, Go
Yeah,
ahead.
We Were Soldiers once and true,
Once and Young.
once and young.
Ooh.
Sorry, I was gonna read it this month, but then I'm reading about the invasion of Sicily. and-
He reads.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got.
Hello.
Yeah, they just took Sicily and they're getting
Sure.
ready to jump over to the mainland Italy to the boot.
Ooh.
So like it's getting. I wasn't able to. I can't switch in the middle. You know.
Isn't that like
Yeah.
a movie? Can't you just watch that probably?
Oh well.
We Were Soldiers?
Well, this is
No, the invasion in Sicily.
no. It
Probably
probably
make
there's
a
probably
movie somewhere.
yeah, John Wayne did it
Yeah,
once or
I'm sure he
once or
did.
twice. So yeah, we get to We Were Soldiers, and for those of you that would like to watch We Were Soldiers, it is streaming on Paramount Plus.
And only Paramount
And
Plus.
only Paramount.
We
Well, you
went-
can rent it on like
Right.
Amazon.
Probably
or whatever.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, you can rent it.
It's been
The
years
problem
since
is-
I watched it, but
When we cut it, when we cut our cord, you know, and you gotta make choices, right? You can only have so many streaming services.
Yes.
Especially because I've got YouTube TV, because I got the ticket, because I watch the foosball. But so like that's cable. That's cable money. And then I got Peacock, right?
because you have to do that now because Big Ten's on there
The
every.
Big
so
Ten's on there,
often.
and so soccer's on there. So I gotta watch my soccer, my football, if you will. The English Premier League is on Peacock.
It's-
So then we got
good.
Peacock. Peacock, mediocre.
Brooklyn
Unless
Nine-Nine's
you
on
like,
there.
unless
so.
you, yeah, but I mean, unless it's like NBC essentially.
Right. I always wanted to watch the Saved by the Bell reboot.
That's
I
on, yeah,
never got
that's
to.
on there. But it's, you know, I watch it mainly. Mainly watch Premier League on there. So I got that. So I got HBO because it came with AT&T, and like, but now the plans changed. But so I got to pay for it now. But then if I change my plan, it's this big whole to do. So like I got that. What other streaming? So I got the Hulu, Disney, ESPN bundle. So you got because you
Yeah, I
got to
got
have
that
that.
with
You got to have that
Verizon.
bundle, right? Because you got to have you got to be able to watch The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. You got to watch the Disney, the Star Wars stuff. But then you can't. You got to have the ESPN and the Hulu, right?
Yeah.
So like when it came
Where
time,
does it stop?
we got to
Dave?
cut the cord somewhere, and the boss says, "All right, we got to get rid of something." And the only thing we could get rid of was Paramount Plus. Which I'm also salty about because Arsenal made the Champions League this year, and that's on Paramount Plus. So I haven't been able to watch. So I'm like trying to find illegal streams. Don't listen to me if you're a police officer. It's
Not
me.
illegal
Tofu
streams.
Sports.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Tofu Sports Net.
yeah. So I'm trying to do that to watch the foosball, and it's you get bad streams and you get booted and it's a pain. So I don't have Paramount Plus, but I've seen We Were Soldiers a bunch of times, and I like Mel Gibson.
Really?
Well, I mean, as an actor, not necessarily as a filmmaker. How about that?
Gotcha.
I liked early
Understood.
Mel Gibson.
Oh yeah, Lethal Weapon 2 might have
Oh,
been
yeah.
the best.
I like Mel Gibson pre-hating Jews.
Touche. Yeah. Yeah.
He just got really weird.
Yeah. He kind of the cuckoo left the clock. He went partial Gary Busey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Only he wasn't talking about buttered sausage. He was
No.
talking about how he hated.
Yeah,
hated
talk
Jewish
about,
people.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
But yeah, so We Were Soldiers is obviously a story about the name, the name of the Mel Gibson's character,
Colonel something or other.
Colonel something or other. Basically, the forming of the first Cav in the Vietnam War, and kind of a new type of warfare with the helicopters, and using helicopters to basically do air assaults and things like that. And the first Cav was one of the first units to essentially use helicopters instead of horses and tanks, because that was kind of what the cavalry was
Right.
prior to Igor Sikorsky popularizing the helicopter. And just basically the story in Nha Drang, or what's the valley? I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
One of the big battles in Vietnam. Great movie, great story. They do a really good job of telling the story, kind of what's happening on the home front, while the soldiers are, fighting the battle. And I love how it switches back and forth from like battle to what's going on back home, to battle to what's
Yeah.
going on back home, and just like the way it tells that story is super unique to any other battle movie.
Right.
It's kind of like at the time they were just waiting for someone to come up to the doorstep and
Right.
tell them that their loved one didn't make
Right,
it.
yeah,
Right?
and like for somebody that did raise his right hand, and like I can't imagine the anxiety that would cause, just basically just sitting around waiting for the bad news.
Right.
And those guys,
I can't
I mean,
imagine.
The guys, well, like veterans or guys in the military, they're going through some stuff over there, right? You can tell that in the Vietnam era.
Right.
That movie, they're
There's some bad dudes.
firefights. I mean, those
Yeah.
dudes are staying up forever.
Mhm.
Running out of ammo.
Yeah.
But then
they know a thing or two
they're
because they've
switching
seen
back.
a thing or two.
They're switching back, and there's
Yeah.
the same type of fight, right?
Right.
But it's at home.
Yeah, but like it's the helplessness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least when you're over there on the front lines and you got your gun in your hand, you can't control what's coming at you, but you feel like you're doing something to defend yourself.
And you got your guys with you too
Right,
that help
exactly.
out.
But like back then, and like when you're back on the home front, like it's literally completely helpless. But then when kind of they formed the group to go around and kind of support each other, kind of the true meaning of what an FRG is supposed to be, and the wives that were decided to group up and spread the message versus
Right.
the chaplains and stuff like that. Like that was, I really enjoyed how they told that story.
There were two things that really stood out for me. First of which, I remember, and I only went on the one deployment.
Right.
I still remember I think it was battalion, where they had the entire battalion in the field, and like the company commander, battalion commander gets up and he gives a speech. I don't remember a single thing that came out of that man's mouth
Yeah.
in that speech, but I remember the emotions that I had in the moment. It was like, okay, now we're going to do this. And
Yeah.
I think the speech that he gives in that film is really awesome.
Yeah.
And, where he's like, we're going to where home was always supposed to be. Like,
Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore.
Yes, Hal Moore.
Yeah, the author of the book and kind of the main character in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I just get chills like every time
Yeah.
I've ever watched it when he says that, and like I think about re-enlisting for about 5 seconds,
Right.
and then I don't.
They wouldn't even let you
It's
look
like,
at,
all right.
look at that.
Yeah, it's like all right, ready to run back through that wall.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Ready to
It's-
run through the wall.
You're
Then I go
amped
to
up, right?
Yeah.
stand up, and like my entire body hurts just from standing up. And it's like,
There's a few other movies that you listen to one thing, and you're like, all right, I'm ready.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
There's a couple war movies, Navy SEAL. These Navy SEAL movies always get me going.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, I'm nowhere near that, but
Oh,
just like,
man.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. Pearl Harbor. Yeah, with Ben Affleck. Oh man, he's so dreamy in that. Isn't he? Yeah.
Wasn't the dude, hold on,
And-
We Were
and
Soldiers.
Josh Hartnett. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The dude from Remember the Titans was in that, right?
In We Were Soldiers.
Yeah, the linebacker.
Let
What's
me
his-
find him. I'm on a.
Strong side.
weak side.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, he is in it. I'm almost
You're
positive.
talking about Opie.
Is that the
from
one
Sons
that's?
of Anarchy?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
He's the one that said
Yeah, I know who you're
the
talking about.
colonel or whatever. He's like, "Good morning, Sergeant." He's like,
Yes.
"What's so good about it?"
Yeah.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day
Yeah,
it is?
and that was it. Is that it?
What are you, the freaking weatherman now?
Yeah, and actually, the actor, it's Ryan Hurst is
Yes.
the actor. Yeah.
God bless. I can't remember his name today.
And he plays Sergeant Ernie Savage in the movie, in this movie, and he plays he is in the Blind. Remember the Titans, and he plays Gary Brashear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a heck of a '90s actor, right? Or not, you know.
Early 2000s.
Gary
Early
Bertier.
2000.
Bertier is
And played Opie Winston in Sons of Anarchy.
yeah. Nobody watched that.
I
Just kidding.
A
Maybe
lot of
maybe
people
some.
watched
Yeah,
it.
no,
People
a lot of
probably
people
do,
did.
I don't
I
know.
didn't. Yeah.
You missed out. It was a good series. But the other thing that really stood out to me about We Were Soldiers.
Hopefully, it's not on Paramount Plus, or I'd watch it.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Cancel.
Yeah.
It's one of the only, if not the only movie where your main protagonist is in the military and he's not perceived as that hard line, pound the fist, be the jerk leader.
Right.
Because I didn't have
Because
it.
he had that Sergeant Major, boy. He didn't need to be that because he had that Sergeant Major. Sam Elliott, who played that character so well, Sergeant Major Basil Plumley, which is a gangster name for a fucking Sergeant Major, pardon my French. Like, let me tell you something. If your name is Basil Plumley, you're destined to be a Sergeant Major.
Right.
And a mean Sergeant Major.
He's one of my favorite actors on top of
Yeah.
it, though. He plays a good, hard-nosed, like...
Yeah, for those of us that like did plenty of time, we know that like so non-commissioned officers typically they go one of two ways. By the time they become first sergeant, sergeant major, they're either like super duper hardline, hard ass prick sergeant majors, or they're like super cool, relaxed, laid back sergeant majors. And we all know what old Basil Plumley. It's like a boy. It's like the Johnny Cash song, "A Boy Named Sue."
Yeah, that's right.
He was destined to be a prick sergeant major.
Any of you sons of bitches call me Grandpa.
Yeah, right. That's like I had a sergeant major way back in the day. His name was it was TA, but it was Thurman Dismuke was his name.
Nice.
Great dude. He was like the super cool, chill sergeant major. But yeah, Basil Plumley.
We used to get yelled at like after every base we'd go to, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
We wouldn't do something right.
Yeah,
There was always
absolutely.
that sergeant major.
Yeah, oh yeah. Get off my grass!
Yeah, yelling at
Yeah.
us, and like I heard a story the other day about whenever like my unit was overseas in Iraq before I joined, something happened, and he's like, he didn't know my name, so I just went away.
Right.
He said he's gonna tell me, but never happened.
Yeah, no, interesting enough, I can't remember if I've talked about this on the podcast or not, but do you know why, get off my grass is like such a thing?
I do not.
So, it never made sense to me until I heard this, and now it makes perfect sense. So that became a thing because if you're willing to cut corners at something so simple as a sidewalk, what else are you cutting corners on when it comes to other people's lives being on the line? And like that's
Yeah,
like
that makes sense
right,
now.
yeah, like had a sergeant major just put it like that, not just yelled at me. Maybe
Yeah,
I'd
for
have
walking on the
understood.
grass. Jason cut corners all the time. That's all I understood. Walking on the grass.
But so yeah, like when I was in, we had those asshole NCOs.
Yeah.
Can't lie, but the vast majority of them wasn't that they were laid back and cool necessarily, but that hard line pounding the table I was not really exposed to that after basic training in AIT.
Yeah, I mean I saw it here and there.
The funnest part was the guys that tried to act all tough,
Right.
but you couldn't take them
Right.
serious.
Yeah.
We had a guy that when I first joined up made me wear like the safety belt, right?
Yeah. PT belt.
He was
Yeah,
a
we didn't
he's
have
a
that
senior
problem.
chief, and I was like, all right. So then I started figuring stuff out, and then he tried so hard to be like cool, but at the same time it was tried so hard to be like that asshole.
Yeah, like
and it
you
never
can't- you
worked
can't-
out.
You can't do both things. Yeah.
And
I
I'm
feel
like,
you.
man, get out of here.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, like another thing about this movie that it's like, so this is probably one of my favorite military-related / war movies, and there's a few different reasons. First of all, like I wanted kind of part of this podcast to be like kind of centered around leadership, and one of our guests couldn't join us or whatever, but the thing that they do in this movie, and we talk about leadership and setting the example and leading from the front. We talk about that all the time. But in this movie, they are very intentional by showing that Hal Moore is the first man off the helicopter. He's the first person into the battle and the very last person out. And as far as leadership goes, like while I was in the military, like that's what leadership is to me.
What it should be.
100%.
And that's the guys
That's
that
like
I would follow anyway.
Every like in the chow line, you do not eat until every single one of your guys eat.
Yeah.
You're the first one in, the last one out. Like that's what leadership is to me, and I love the way that they portrayed that in this movie.
The other way they do it in this movie is they show the two brand new lieutenants as well, and like they're going through the different obstacles and all of that.
Right.
And they show the yeller and the screamer, and then they show Gary Bertier or whoever, the other lieutenant,
Right.
and he's just like, hey, take your socks off, check your feet, you know,
Right.
this is what we're
Yeah.
going to do.
Right.
It's very low key, and the sergeant major, who, you know, for all intents and purposes, is an asshole, he goes over to Colonel Moore, and he's like, that one right there, he's a leader. And it's like, they really,
Yeah.
I agree with you, they're very intentional on
Right.
showing what real military leadership is. And I think there is a huge divide because there's so few people that serve now between civilians and the military and understanding what military culture is.
Right.
All the movies that have been done, they portray that leader as the asshole.
Right. And it doesn't
And-
have to be because there's not one point in this movie that Hal Moore is the asshole. Not one time.
And if you'll remember this, I don't know about you, Mark, but in the early 2000s, like 2007, 2008, you saw the skyrocketing veteran unemployment.
Right.
Well, you had multiple wars going on, and the only military movies and TV shows that were coming out showed the most extreme versions
Yeah.
of what was going on.
Right. They like PTSD was like the super duper stigma at that point. Yeah.
And-
Absolutely. Like these guys are all effing crazy.
Now add on to that we're all a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
And so just in the last 10, 15 years, you've seen this switch from all military, they've got all these like inherent leadership qualities to them, and it's
Right.
like, not really.
Yeah.
Not-
Yeah.
if-
They
what-
can.
Right.
They definitely
Right.
can, but it's not. Again,
Well, that's the thing, right? So, even going to job interviews,
Mhm.
what's your like? They're automatically thinking that you're. These are like two way. I interviewed for a supervisor spot years ago,
Mhm.
and the guy's like, "Well, we don't really do that yelling and stuff." And
Mhm.
I was like, "Well, that's not what. That's
Yeah,
not
right.
just the military aspect,
right,
you know.
right,
It's
yeah,
just, you can. It's controlled chaos, right? But you're
Right.
not yelling and doing all that stuff. You,
100%.
you're
Yeah.
leading to lead.
Right.
You know? You're
Yeah.
leading to make
Yeah.
your job
Yeah.
easier.
Turn off the TV, bud.
Yeah, it's not. We're not
Yeah.
screaming at each other. But
And-
I don't remember all that stuff because I was probably. Way
Yeah.
too
You
young
were
for
probably
that.
in diapers. Yeah.
Probably.
And being in middle management is tough, especially when they're expecting you to be that.
Right.
I've never been that person. I'll never be that person. I literally told somebody to their face once, like if it ever comes to that point, it just means one of us has to go, whether it's me or it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be so angry at somebody that I'm yelling and screaming for anything.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
like,
can quit.
like that's the thing is like so E5s, E6s, which is the heart of the military. You know what I mean? Sergeants and staff sergeants in the Army and whatever they are in the other services. But E5s and E6s are literally like the heart of the Army, of the military. And like that's essentially middle management. You know what I mean? So if it's done correctly, you know what I mean? If it's done, then I feel like that's the point where everything either works great or everything is a complete disaster. If those positions right there, if they're leading you know what I mean, if they're taking direction from the top properly, disseminating it and leading the bottom properly, that's where the magic happens essentially.
Yeah, you're taking most of those individuals, E5s, E6s, they've just completed their first enlistment. So
Right.
these are people that made a conscious decision to continue. So, you know, how you get them to navigate that, you know, with individuals that don't have that motivation to continue on past that first enlistment, like, that's where...
Well, that's where you get that motivation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's,
you have good guys that are
yeah,
E5s, E6s.
that's what makes people re-enlist. You know, that's
Yeah.
what that's what that's what it's all about. Yeah, you get a
How
terrible
many horror stories have you
get
heard?
a terrible squad leader, platoon leader, or squad sergeant, platoon sergeant at the very beginning. Like, there's no chance that you're going to
No.
re-enlist if you're stuck with them for 3 years, 2-3 years, and they don't move. Oh man, there's no chance.
I've
Yeah.
heard guys get out because, well, that guy was trying to ruin my career.
Right, 100%. Yeah,
All right, I mean, he probably was, but
Right.
that's not how
Yeah.
a leader should be.
100%.
But
Yeah,
when,
you
in
gotta-
my time, man,
you
we
gotta
had
build
so many.
everybody up.
We had so many,
Good.
so many like E7s and E8s. At one time, we had like 4 chiefs in our shop. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. What is
there's
this?
too many.
Too
there's
many
too,
chiefs.
Yeah, too many chiefs.
Not literally.
And it was just like they were trying to shove down everyone's face, but there was no E6s. So you had E5s and E4s,
Right.
and it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because no one else was doing anything, and the E4s were getting mad because we were doing everything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. There were.
the leaders I had that stand out the most to me, I never got yelled at. They knew how to correct my behavior
Right.
through motivation and inspiration, not fear and aggression. And I actively try to carry that over into what I do now because I found that to be most effective for me.
Right.
It's not always the case. Some people, they do need that other methods, but
Yeah.
I don't have time to be that angry with somebody that can quit their job.
I don't think
and-
anybody can get me that angry.
It's
To where,
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was one time that I when I was in E5 and I lost it over. It was probably some kind of sarcasm, attitude, backtalk kind of situation, and I remember exactly. I remember I remember snapping. I don't like it was, but it was like the one time, literally the only time I ever did it, and I remember like talking to the guy afterwards and everything, and it was, and I'm still friends with the guy to this day. You know what I mean? It was just it was like my learning moment as a leader, like that I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't learn anything the easy way. But
some
like
people just aren't
the
meant
proper, and it was just like I had to learn the proper way to be a leader.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was obviously not it. But yeah, shout out to Luis Miranda. He's our resident Florida guy, and great dude. I mean, not a good dude, a great dude, and he was a great soldier. And it was just this one odd situation where it must have been I don't know if it was a bad day.
Everyone
or
has
whatever.
bad days. Everyone
Yeah,
has
it
bad
was-
moments.
It was the one time that I'm not proud of as a non-com.
But if you can own it, that means you learn from
and
it.
that was
so
it.
that's all
Yeah,
it
and
is,
I
right?
definitely learned from it and moved on from it.
Yeah, and I think you guys know this and have seen it. I'm probably the hardest on myself.
Right.
Like when I know I've made a mistake,
Right.
like I'm that person that pound the fist and I do that to me.
Right.
But I've never
I
felt
can
the
imagine
need.
that mirror whenever Jason has
Yeah, right.
that,
Yeah.
that mirror he yells
I've seen
at.
it. I've seen it with the gun.
It's
The shower seat really got you.
Yeah, that's right.
In more ways than one.
but like when I run,
Yeah.
what keeps me going isn't the yellers and the screamers. I have this voice in the back of my head, and it's Drill Sergeant Shelby Johnson. Shout out to Shelby, just running behind me saying, "Let's effing go, Graven." But not in a
That's
if,
gonna be-
if
that's
you
gonna-
don't run faster, you're gonna die.
That's gonna
kinda.
be me soon, Graven. I'm right behind you, bud. I'm coming for you. You better start running, fool.
Like Full Metal Jacket,
That's
where
right.
the drill sergeant's like, pick them up and put them down, pile. War gonna be over before we get there.
That
That's
was a drill instructor. It wasn't a drill sergeant. Drill instructor. The Marines, they do stuff weird. they call their DIs sir. What is that about?
yeah, that's weird.
We had company commanders.
That's weird too.
We would say sir until we
Cool.
learned their name.
Because officers were sirs. But
Right.
yeah, non-coms were never sirs.
Yeah,
our
they were-
instructors were non-coms.
They were sir. Well, that's the way they were too. But
They were
until
company
you,
commanders and they were non-coms?
yeah,
Weird.
It's Coast Guard, man.
Coast
if
Guard,
you didn't
man.
know their names,
That's-
sir,
that's-
sir and ma'am.
They have to
That's-
run their paychecks through Homeland Security.
That's what they. That's
Yeah,
what
what
they
is
do
that?
in Homeland
Lubes?
Security, right?
But yeah, those are the things that I took away from
Yeah.
We Were Soldiers. It's definitely probably top 3 military movie for me.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, also top 3. And for me, the biggest thing for me is the way that it shows the different aspects. It shows the U.S. military. It shows the Vietnamese military and kind of what's
Yep.
going on with them, and then it shows what's going on back at the home front. So like the way that it shows like the entire picture. Yeah, I would say definitely top 3 military for me also.
Yeah, so I would say so far we've done Born on the 4th of July.
Which was way better. I never saw the full movie until we did like the
Right.
review, and it was really, really good.
I watched it on
Yeah.
the way to our honeymoon. I was like, this
Yeah.
dude's crazy.
Yeah, right.
Like,
It was
yeah,
good. Yeah,
it
I'm
was
glad.
good.
I'm glad that we started doing this. Just like I saw that.
Hacksaw Ridge, we
Yeah.
did. We've now done We Were Soldiers. I feel like there was one more. Did we do one more?
It's my first movie review.
Right. So with that being said, you get to pick the next movie, and
Oh, we did Jarhead.
yes,
Yeah,
Jarhead. So you
that
can't
was-
pick one of those 4. Those are the 4 we've
Yeah,
done so far.
I have one in mind.
All right.
I think
Bring it on.
would-
Come on, Cletus.
would I think
Oh,
it
you
would.
better. It better start Kevin Costner.
It doesn't.
But Dances with Wolves, is that
No,
even
no.
count?
What is it? What's the Coast Guard one?
That's
Oh,
all.
yes.
That's the rescue swimmer one. What is it?
Yes. No, because I was thinking about
Is
that.
Costner in there? Or
It's
am I-
got Costner
Yes.
and
Is it Josh
Kutcher.
Hartnett?
Bodyguard.
Oh, Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
No, not the bodyguard. Shit, idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's,
Kutcher is the other one.
Man,
I know what
can't
you're
remember
talking
the name
about
of
because
it.
I was
Yeah.
looking them up because correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, Coast Guardsman, but isn't the Coast Guard birthday this month in October?
yeah, I couldn't tell you, but
I
probably
think it's October 13th.
The Guardian.
The
The
Guardian.
Guardian,
Yep.
yes.
If I was gonna pick a Coast Guard movie, The Finest Hour.
Okay, I've never seen it.
It's very good.
Okay.
But I got to think about it because I have one that I think would hit home.
All right,
with-
well, you ain't got a lot of time to think
yeah,
about it.
like what is it?
Yeah, well, I like
Let's throw it out there.
I think
We'll
it would
choose by
be.
committee.
Thank you for your service.
Vetoed. Didn't we do that one? We did that
We
one.
did not
Thank
do
you
that
for
one.
your service.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Wait, you didn't name that in the fourth,
I don't
unless it was years ago. I don't know.
No. I know I just watched
I'm not-
it. I know we've talked about it.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it.
We can do thank you for your
I think that would
Do
hit
I-
home.
Yes,
and-
we did because we talked about when they were at the VA. That was one we did.
Okay.
So,
Then never
I
mind.
must have missed that one then. Oh yeah, that's one. Yeah, it's got what's your boy in it?
Yeah.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, he's a good. I think it would hit. I mean, obviously
Yeah, we
we
did
talked
do that
about it
one. That
already,
was the
but
second one we did.
it hit
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
It hit to our
Yeah.
what we're trying to do, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me. The Finest Hour. We can do that one.
All right, Finest Hour it is.
Yeah, it's
Let's
got,
do the
got
Finest
old,
Hour. Because I haven't seen that.
What's
I haven't
it's
either.
got Chris Pine in it.
Oh, I love Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. He played like the newer Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
he's
it's,
good.
It's
He did a movie with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is one of the most handsome men alive, by the way.
Tom Hardy's a bad dude.
Yeah, he's a handsome dude. But it's a Walt Disney. It's a Walt Disney movie.
Well, we might have to switch it up.
It's got Casey Affleck though. No, we're good. We're gonna do Finest Hour. I like
It's
it.
a good. It's a good Coast Guard movie. I enjoy it. I do rewatch it, and it's got a lot of good. Got a lot of good scenes and a lot of good one-liners.
So if I can watch it on Disney Plus, that means I can watch it. It's not like that Paramount Plus where I had to cut the cord.
Yeah,
Yeah, very cool. Finest Hour. Watch
All right. Watch it, love it, learn it.
it. Mm-hmm.
that's right.
So, with that being said, final thoughts.
I am just glad that what we're doing and the turnouts and the stuff that's coming our way as an organization and what we're doing for the people we're trying to help out is, I think we're to continue to grow and continue to help people, and let's just put the biggest dent on this veteran suicide and just the helping veterans out that we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's
Let's make Northwest Ohio, Southeast Michigan
Great
let's,
again.
Let's make this the anomaly in across the country of
yeah, I mean we're doing the right things
right.
and moving
Yeah,
that way
absolutely,
forward,
and
so.
that way we can spread.
So,
Yeah,
Dave?
no, I'm with you. I like it. Yeah, fun podcast this month. Fall is it's a crazy time. We got Thanksgiving coming up, and we get to kind of start spending time with your loved ones. I would say while you're spending time with your loved ones in between, reach out to to those that you used to spend a lot of time with, you used to love that you might not have talked to in a while, and just kind of spread the love to see and make sure everybody's okay. And
Reach out to your brothers that you served
yeah,
with
absolutely.
if you served.
not necessarily like
Not even if you
not
served.
necessarily like buddy checks, but that at one time they were your family. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And this is a time to just reach out and say hey and see what they're up to, and send a message on the Facey space or whatever, and
Just talk and enjoy
just see
your
what's
life.
going on. Yeah, and just and just be thankful.
And with that being said, my final thought. So, today we got an application for our benefits, which we do on occasion. And on our application, we have people, tell us something about your background story or provide any information. And some people, like it's not a requirement that they, go in depth. And so some people just skip the whole thing. Other people say quite a bit. This one that we received today kind of stood out to me, and it goes from talking about their VA disability diagnosis with PTSD and depression, But where it really stood out to me was I do not have a supportive family. They think I'm a whack job. I was isolated, didn't participate in any good activities, and quit going to the gym, etc., etc. And then later on, this person, obviously, instead of just going to the website and just reading the application and putting it in, they obviously looked around our website and they saw our videos. And it says this individual had put, we live alone in a big house, but I cried and cried watching all of your videos, especially a letter from home. I identified with all of the feelings and issues we have trying to be a civilian.
It was us standing by the dumpster, I think. Yeah.
Probably, I identified it there.
Yeah.
But why that one stands out to me is we've constructed this nonprofit not with industry professionals.
Right.
None of us are lawyers and counselors, or we didn't come like rooted in different nonprofit backgrounds. We were all just service members
Right.
Bunch of
that
yahoos.
wanted to get together and do something for our fellow servicemen. That's it. That's the crux of our organization.
Right.
So when I read that and your videos, like, I related to all of those feelings. I hope people understand that we are just like all of you as far as service goes.
That's right.
So when we put stuff out, we wanted to represent this demographic because that's who we are as best as we can. So that made me really proud to receive that today, because it means
That's a good one.
the stuff that we're putting out and the things that we're doing
Yeah.
matter and make a difference.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
And
Yeah, that's good.
um,
We're just vets helping vets, right?
That's right. That's what we're trying to
That's
do.
what we're doing.
That's helping
You
vets,
get-
baby.
you're gonna beat that in the ground.
That's right.
You're right.
That's
Yeah.
right. Make sure you get plenty of run on that one.
I'm running it for
Yeah.
until someone gets mad.
Yeah.
Probably about
It
that.
sounds like a new T-shirt.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hopefully, everybody that listened to this podcast took something out of the podcast, because we want this to be something representative of veterans as well.
Who we are and what we do.
So thank you for taking time out to listen to us just BS about buttered sausage,
That's right.
what it is, where it comes
Learn,
from.
laugh, loves type of stuff. You know?
That's right.
So, with that being said,
Thanks for listening. Give him another howdy, Jay.
howdy howdy.
I just want to thank you all for listening. We are Task Force 20, and we are honoring those who didn't come home by trying to take care of those who did.
If you are or know a struggling veteran, please take down the Veteran Crisis Hotline number, 1-800-273-8255. Reach out to your people and don't be scared to ask for help. If someone crosses your mind, text, call, or email them and let them know. You just might save a life.
We train together, we compete together, and we survive together.
Until next time.